safest house in the world, brought to you by Habitat for Humanity.
Hello and happy Easter. You're about to witness something extraordinary.
These volunteers are just about to attempt to break the Habitat World Speedbuilt record set in America last year. Now over there, they built a house in just over 4.5 hours. And when I say build a house, I mean kitchen in, carpets down, paint on, mailbox up, the works.
But it's not just a house, it's a home. The first home a family of 6, soon to be 7, have ever owned. Habitat for Humanity was brought to New Zealand in 1992. It's a Christian-based organisation that relies on donations to meet its goal to eliminate substandard housing. In New Zealand, Habitat have built 52 houses, and they plan to make that 200 by the year 2000. In Manukau alone, Habitat have already built 14 houses for needy families. The Suafua's house will be number 15.
What we're trying to do is take the people in need, and we're trying to rebuild our society one family at a time. Habitat is not a handout, it's a hand up. They have to pay for the house, and so Habitat actually charges for the house. They have a mortgage and they pay for the house on a no profit and no interest basis.
2, 1. Let's go!
The Habitat team in Nashville, Tennessee set the Speedbuild time to beat, building a 3-bedroom house, floor to finish, in an incredible 4 hours, 39 minutes, 8 seconds. It's taken over a year to plan the New Zealand Speedbuild, but the one thing that could sabotage the record attempt will be Auckland's fickle weather.
Wind is the big one, and it can't be above. You did give me a figure, and I'll have to check that out.
Can we confirm that? Because one of the things that we need to have is what are the criteria going to be for postponement?
Habitat have put together a team of skilled and dedicated people with a background in building. On the day, they'll be supported by more than 100 volunteers. John Parr is the man responsible for making sure the record attempt goes according to plan. He's an expert in the critical change scheduling system that will be used to keep the project on track.
Down to the finish point. We're doing this for a Habitat World Record, and the rules, as they say it, is that we're allowed to start with a floor, with the base, and build from there. So that's what we've done. Yes, there has been a lot of pre-assembly go on. We know that the people in Tennessee who did this also had done a lot of pre-assembly. So really, we're not building a house, we're assembling a house.
When you build a house this quickly, how do you keep the site safe?
Oh, it's absolutely paramount that we keep the site safe. And that's one of the reasons we have said on no account is a trade to go into a room when there's another trade in there. One trade, one room.
How long do you think it'll take?
If Murphy doesn't strike, then 2 3/4. But things will go wrong. We know it will. So I'm picking 3.5 hours. We'll see.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But little did the Speedbuild team know, the next 4.5 hours were to provide some unexpected surprises. Well, the race is on. Can the Speedbuild team build a house in less than 4.5 hours?
There are over 100 volunteers here, builders, electricians, plumbers, and then, of course, there are team leaders and supervisors, each with a set task to do. And they've got some big challenges. The weather for a start. Well, it is Auckland, Kerry. The workers have got to keep out of each other's road. There are safety issues. Quality can't be sacrificed for speed. And finally, the house won't be declared finished until it has the building inspector's seal of approval.
Habitat for Humanity have put together a family of sponsoring companies for the Speedbuild record. The first components in place are the Laserbilt panels, which form both the exterior and interior walls that make up the backbone of the house.
Can you just briefly explain the Laserbilt system to me?
Laserbilt system is a system where we build houses out of panel form. So we haven't actually got a stick framing and jib that you have in a standard type house. The panels come in fairly big size, where they go up to 7 metres long, so we can have 7 metres of complete wall that goes up in one go.
The Laserbilt panels are very labour efficient, which is one of the keys to breaking the Speedbuild record. The other key is the way the roof is put together. At the same time as the Laserbilt panels are being erected, the roof is assembled on the section next door. When the roof is finished, it will be swung into place over the house. Meanwhile, the Dulux paint team is getting its pep talk.
This is a chance to get a world record. I've never got one. I doubt anyone here has. I've got the stopwatch, we've got the times, we know it's 5 minutes to paint the ceiling in the laundry. We know it's 10 minutes to paint the walls in the toilet. You're here because you're the best. And we need the best if we're going to win this. We're going to be on your back, and you've got to be there helping your mates out. If you're falling behind, put up your hand. Give them a shout, they'll get over there and help you. We're going to be prepared. If anything happens here and things run behind a little bit, we'll be ready just to tuck it in and deliver it in the time.
The Speedbuild hits the first hitch of the day. Someone had forgotten that cladding was being nailed to the end roof trusses. This means they're too low to fit on the roof platform.
That centre stuff there, just might have flipped that, eh? We've got it miles too far in on that far side. Bring it out, bring it out. On the truck, on the truck. Bring it out. Got to come right out to there. That's it. Yeah.
Push it out a little bit. Bit of drama here, Jim, something you didn't expect?
No, it wasn't really planned, but we've got to have a bit of that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, this is a pretty unusual way to build a roof on the ground.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How does it work?
Well, the idea is for speed. We can be operating over there as well as here, and then at the right time we'll be shutting off for a quarter of an hour, so just to lift that on top and then we'll fix it.
So the ceiling is already on there?
The ceiling's already there. The ceiling's down first, then the trusses and the whole roof structure except for the iron. Really, that's about all.
So why don't you put the iron on? You're going to lift the whole thing up. Why don't you put the iron on down here?
We've got to be able to fix through. It's engineered, so we've got to fix the whole ceiling area to the wall section.
And once the roof goes on there, all that remains is the iron.
That's it.
Right. Good luck.
Only 16 minutes into the Speedbuild, and already the house is taking shape. The whole operation has been planned out with military precision. There are 12 units in action, each wearing different coloured uniforms. The order of events is critical. No team can begin its work until the job before it is completed, or the carefully planned schedule will turn to custard.
We'll cut it out. We'll cut it out. Okay. Hardy's has put quite a lot of product into this. Why do you do that?
Well, we've been in the building industry in New Zealand over 50 years. We get a lot out of being in that industry. It's a privilege to participate. This gives us an opportunity to give something back to the community.
Now slide it up to the window.
And what is it about your product that makes it so suitable for a speed build like this?
Well, we can use the panelised product rather than weatherboards. It's very quick to put up, and of course it's very durable, easy to paint and easy to maintain. So it's quite suitable for this sort of building project.
Hope you got that one. Broke while we lifted it. Couldn't help it.
In the rush, one of the Laserbilt panels has cracked. This won't affect the structural soundness of the house, but fixing it may slow the whole process down.
Well, we have a contingency plan for cracked walls, and we've already trialled that. We use sturdy bond and fixes it together like you'll never know it's been there. No problem at all.
From the Speedbuild command post, John Parr marshals the troops for the assault on the record. Communication on the site is crucial to their success.
John, all exterior walls fitted. Finished. So, how are we going, John?
Oh, absolutely fantastically. All the buffers are zero, which means we're at least on time, and in fact we're probably about 10 minutes ahead of time at this stage.
So any particular place, is the house or the roof that you're picking up on?
Roof's going well according to plan. The house, they had a few glitches, but they're still ahead as well.
Right.
As I say, about 10 minutes ahead, and it was the walls which are the critical part. They're on the critical part.
So what's your bet for the end time now? Finish time?
Under the 3.5.
All right, well, we'll see.
But the Speedbuild team must remember that they haven't set a record until the house has the seal of approval from the building inspector. He's keeping an eagle eye on everything.
Does it make it difficult for you to do it all in one hit?
It makes it easier doing it all in one hit because we're actually on site and see everything as it happens, rather than trying to catch up later on.
And you don't necessarily see all the processes in a normal house?
No, in a normal house we make 2 or 3 inspections and we don't actually see all the detail. We have to make a reasonable decision.
So what sort of things are you looking for today specifically? I mean, they're building it very, very fast. So what are you actually keeping an eye on?
We're principally focusing on the structural integrity of it. So we're looking at fixings and connections of the panel system and the normal construction fixings for the roofs.
Any worries so far?
No, it's going really well. Good team of people.
The roof isn't even on yet, but it's lino down and everything, including the kitchen sink in. But there's just one thing. Is the house plumb?
We want to just have a little check on you here, Graham. So tell me, I brought this with me, and I wouldn't presume to use it, so you do.
Do you want me to do it?
I want you to check it out for us.
Check it out for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the camera?
I thought you usually kept your finger over the bubble.
Not me, brother. This is the Laserbilt house. What do you reckon?
Bang on.
You happy with that?
Graham started off with a clever numbering system for the order of erecting each Laserbilt panel.
Hey, once we got cracking, that system went out the window anyway, so that was the plan. It wasn't quite how it worked out. But we got them up in record time too, 7 minutes under.
Weather reports just in tell the team that it's raining elsewhere in Auckland, but on the site it's hot and humid. The threat of rain increases the tension. The roof is ready, but there's an unscheduled hold-up.
That we should be lifting the roof on at this time. However, we're delaying lifting the roof because we want to finish the exterior walls so that when the roofers start to put the roofing on, we won't have people outside having to wear hard hats.
Wait. Everybody up.
Help! Everybody up!
It's a critical moment for the Speedbuild. Time to place the roof carefully onto the house itself. For safety reasons, everyone must clear the site while the roof is lowered.
Even you joggers!
The pre-planning for the whole thing it's proved that it really works.
Is that what safety comes down to, pre-planning?
It does come down to pre-planning. And in this particular instance, task analysis, they've done a really good task analysis on all the different jobs.
Get out!
There's a couple of little things here that probably could have been planned a little bit better. But it's when you get people that are working in an area like this and everybody trying to do tasks, they tend to take a couple of little shortcuts. But we've talked about it and it's been resolved.
Yeah. And no accidents yet?
No, nothing yet.
Great.
The transfer of the roof is potentially dangerous. Everyone is aware that the man from Osh has the power to close the Speedbuild down immediately if he is concerned about safety.
Well, at the very least, Nuatelli and Lynetta and the kids are going to have a roof over their heads tonight. Now, as you've seen, this roof has been built completely separately from the rest of the house, and the home built team is hoping this will gain them precious minutes in their race against the clock.
It looks like a perfect fit, except for one downpipe that's too long.
We need to bring the whole thing towards us. About that much. That all right? 20 mil this way. Not bad. Near enough? Where does, eh? We made it. Somewhere. That's what I was dead scared of, that it wouldn't be square.
In fact, the roof wasn't a perfect fit, and the time taken to fix the problem cost the Speedbuild team valuable minutes.
We need to get something to lever that up now.
There's a new sense of urgency as the clock ticks on. The builders swing into action to screw the roof to the wall panels.
Not good news like we had before. Still not a disaster, but I'd say at this stage we're 8, maybe 10 minutes behind. Some of the things didn't go quite so well with putting the roof on, but there's still plenty of buffer there, so not a problem at this stage. We're still on for 4 hours.
Meanwhile, the dedicated Team Deluxe has been limbering up for its main event, painting the interior walls.
All painters?
All painters, yes.
Shane, your dad was a painter?
Yes, for 25 years, and we just sort of continued on the trade and carried on the skills that he had taught us. And we've carried it on through not only our painting skills, but our family involvement in activities such as this.
Back at the command post, John Parr is all too aware that small delays like this combine to threaten the Speedbuild record attempt.
We're 10 minutes shy here, and basically there is how far we're behind on the critical chain. So we've got to relate that right down to here, and that's going to be tight for our 4 hours at the moment.
The whole Speedbuild site is a hive of activity. Concrete is being poured, fences are being erected, and in a nearby tent, Lynetta and Vinay are busy helping to make the curtains for their new home.
Now, I guess everyone has their own definition of what makes a house a home, but for Nuatelli, it isn't home until he's dug in his own Parr patch.
In addition to their interest-free mortgage, the Suafos have paid a $500 deposit, and they are also required to put in many hours of work towards Habitat housing projects.
Habitat is a partnership between people in need, Habitat, and the community, and so they have to put in 500 hours of sweat equity.
Habitat is powered by an army of volunteers.
It's been estimated in New Zealand that we put 2,000 hours into every house. So if you think of 2,000 hours per house and 50 houses, we've got 100,000 hours, and that's a lot of volunteer time. But they love it. because they can achieve something. At the end of the day, they can see what they've done for someone else.
That sense of achievement inspires volunteers like team leader Clary Wills, a retired builder who's put hundreds of hours into helping Habitat.
My wife and I have decided that we're supportive of a lot of things, but our main object over the next 2 years is full support for Habitat. It's a hand up, and this is what it's all about. We're helping a family who was there come up here, and some of the stories I can tell you about some of the families that have gone in and what they're doing now just makes your heart pretty warm.
Inside, the painters are flat tack rolling on the toned-down version of purple, and time is ticking away. The bathroom plumbing is still proving troublesome. There's still a lot of work to be done. Remember, the house isn't officially finished until it's ready for the new owners to move in. Meanwhile, work on the exterior of the house is moving into the final phase. A load of topsoil is trucked in so the landscaping team can start its work. Now it's time to start finishing all those fiddly little jobs it usually takes weeks to get around to when you're building or renovating. Today, every single task has to be crossed off the list before the record is officially broken. There's a real feeling of urgency among the volunteers now. They've caught up some of the time lost in plumbing the bathroom, but not without breaking one of their own Speedbuild safety rules.
How's it going, John? Much better than we were before. We seem to have caught up. The bathroom has come right at last. I think they had a couple of trades in there at the same time.
So what's the ETA now?
Well, I was just thinking maybe another 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, something like that.
And that'll make it?
And that'll make it 3 1/4.
With the pressure on, there's the odd occasion where an immaculate finish comes second to getting the job done.
You didn't see that bit of finish in there, did you?
3 hours down and the record is in sight. Volunteers begin to plant the bare section. Habitat are determined that this just won't be a house, it will be a home. Inside, momentum is building as the carpet layers race against the clock.
Well, we're almost there. 3 hours and 10 minutes, and I'm told there's only 15 minutes worth of work left to go. A fantastic effort. It looks as though we're going to break that record. Pavers down, curtains standing by. There's not much that stands between Habitat New Zealand and the world record.
We're certainly a lot better off than we were before.
Inside, it's organised chaos as the trades compete for space to finish their work.
Oh, hey, can you leave those doors off the hall till we've done the carpet?
Outside, the deck is shaping up. Back steps in place. And how's this for attention to detail? 3 hours ago, this was a bare construction site. Now it's starting to show signs of the leafy garden it will one day become, right down to the spray-on lawn. No, they haven't decided to cheat and paint the dirt green. This mix of grass seed will have the real stuff sprouting in no time. Time for a bit of interior decorating. After all, the Speedbuild promise is that the house will be ready for Nuatele, Lynetta and the kids to move in, which means it's time to remove the evidence of 100 workmen's muddy boots and add the final touches. Graham, you're the project manager on this. I've got a very important job for you. Can you manage it?
Well, Kerry, that's the best job in the house. Every builder loves doing this little job.
Serious?
Serious. One good reason. You get to sit down while you're doing it. There we are.
And now the moment of truth. Blake Bibby tours the completed house with the building inspector.
Okay.
Does the Speedbuild team get the final seal of approval?
3, 2, 1.
3 hours, 44 minutes and 59 seconds. The Speedbuild team have smashed the Tennessee record by a massive 55 minutes.
You folks have taken from us the America's Cup. Now you've taken from us the Speedbuild. I think the next thing we'd like to do is send you some of our national debt and see how you can handle it. We'd like to present to Blake the trophy for the Speedbuild. Congratulations to you and the whole team that put this house together.
I've been involved with housing for 50 years, but I think today might be my greatest day in handing over keys to a family in the world record. Thanks, Lou. God bless you and your wife.
We never thought in a million years that we'll own a place at this time of our lives. And I'd like to thank all the voluntary workers that have been involved today in this project. Lastly, I would like to thank all my friends that are here today to help us celebrate this fabulous occasion. Thank you.
Finishing touch, Lynetta. You're welcome, Matt. Welcome to your new home.
Thank you very much.
Let's look.
Don't know how it feels to be in my own place now.
What do you think?
Magnificent.
Is it what you expected?
Oh, it's a lot more than I expected. Yes.
And it didn't rain.
And it didn't rain. It didn't rain. Of course it didn't rain. Can you ever have thought it was going to?
The fastest house in the world was brought to you by Habitat for Humanity.